And then the following year when Jane left, Rick came in as co-director. And it was Rick and I as co-directors my last year at CAVE. Well, he was an outsider. He had not come up through the ranks of program coordinators and whatnot. And he had just the wonderful personality in order to fit in.
Rick is a warm fuzzy. He was like this big bear, and people like to, he just had this kind of calming effect for any situation. He had an ability to look at a situation and calm it down if there was something going on, and he was a good listener, and people would go in and talk to him and listen. And he was, like I said, he was a great jokester, and so he brought a lot of fun to the environment, and he was just an all-around nice guy.
I'll never forget one day he came up to me and he said, there's an opening on the activity fee board. You should apply for it. And I just kind of looked at him and I thought, well, I've never been involved in student government. I didn't really even think that wouldn't have been something that would have naturally hit my radar screen. But somebody who I respected, looked at me and said, I think you can do this. Why don't you try to do this? And that kind of changed my whole career direction. And it was really that one suggestion of, have you ever thought of doing this, that got me more involved in university life.
It was really when I was a CAVE director that I formed he was a mentor to me. As I was doing a lot of the work to make changes at CAVE, it was fairly political. That people don't always like change, and he really helped me navigate a lot of how to introduce change, how to leverage the right people, when to back off, when to push forward, how to stay strong in my convictions for what I thought was right for the program. And I think even more important, he really has influenced the work I do now, working in public elementary schools. He was on the school board at the time I was the CAVE director, and I'd always go and just stop by his office to say hi because I just enjoyed talking about education. So I just learned so much from him about education and the larger system, and why it's important to be an advocate for education.
He was the person that was kind of the consistent through all the years, I think, of knowing what CAVE was and what CAVE stands for, and being level-headed on problem solving for CAVE. He was my confidant on those times where things were falling apart and I wasn't sure where to go or just needed to talk. He was my go-to person always. So yeah, he was a great, great man.